Today we are going to learn the transition probability for a harmonic perturbation. Here we consider a perturbation which depends harmonically on time, that is Vfi of t prime is Vfi prime e raised to I omega t prime plus Vfi prime dagger e raised to minus I omega t prime. The total Hamiltonian of the system is H is equal H0 plus V of t. Here H0 is the unperturbed Hamiltonian and V of t is the perturbing potential. Here in the harmonic perturbation we consider this perturbing field depends harmonically on time. Time means the time between the moments the perturbation is switched on and off. This type of perturbation is encountered when charged particle or atom interacts with the electromagnetic field. So, due to this perturbing field, the system got transition from one stationary state to another. So, we are going to determine the transition probability of a system from an initial state I to final state F due to this kind of harmonic perturbation. Using the time dependent perturbation theory, first order transition probability is given by PIF of t is modulus of CF1 of t square, where CF1 of t is minus I by h modulus of minus I by h bar integral 0 to t Vfi of t prime e raised to I omega fi t prime dt prime modulus square. Cf1 of t is given by this expression. So, Vfi of t means the ith matrix element of the perturbing potential and omega fi is Ef minus Ei by h bar. So, here we consider the time interval between 0 to t, that is the perturbing field is switched on at t equals 0 and it is switched off at t equal t. So, here we have the perturbing field like Vfi prime, Vfi of t prime as Vfi prime e raised to I omega t prime plus Vfi prime dagger e raised to minus I omega t prime. So, substitute this in equation number 2. So, we got minus I by h bar integral 0 to t Vfi prime e raised to I omega t prime plus Vfi prime dagger e raised to minus I omega t prime into e raised to I omega fi t prime dt prime modulus square. Now, we open the bracket. So, we have PIF of t as modulus of minus I by h bar integral 0 to t Vfi prime e raised to I omega t prime into e raised to I omega fi t prime. So, it is e raised to I into omega plus omega fi into t prime plus next term is Vfi prime dagger e raised to minus I omega t into t prime into e raised to I omega fi t prime. So, it is Vfi prime dagger e raised to minus I into omega minus omega fi t prime into dt prime modulus square. So, now we split up this bracket. Modulus of a plus b the whole square is modulus of a square plus modulus of b square. So, we got, okay, before going to that let us integrate this term. On integrating we got minus I by h bar Vfi prime e raised to I into omega plus omega fi t prime by I into omega plus omega Fi. Applying the limits 0 to t plus Vfi prime dagger e raised to minus I into omega minus omega Fi t prime by minus I into omega minus omega Fi. Limit 0 to t, that is smallest square. Now we have this I and minus I got. So applying the limits, we got modulus of minus I by h bar. On applying the limit, we have Vfi prime into e raised to I into omega plus omega Fi into t. On applying the lower limit, we got e raised to 0, that is minus 1 divided by I into omega plus omega Fi. Okay, next is plus Vfi prime dagger. On applying the upper limit, we got e raised to, so I take minus sign inside, so it becomes I into omega Fi minus omega into t, applying the upper limit. So on applying the lower limit, minus 1 divided by, on taking this minus sign inside, we got I into omega Fi minus omega. So its modulus square. Here we have minus I h bar, multiplying both these terms, it is modulus square. So in numerator we have I, and the denominator of both terms we have I. So imaginary number I, it get cancelled. So PIF of t is 1 by h bar here. So it is modulus of 1 by h bar into minus sign when multiplied this to first term, we got 1 minus e raised to I into omega plus omega Fi into t by omega plus omega Fi. When multiplying to this term, we got I and I cancelled, and minus sign when multiplying to this term, we got 1 minus e raised to I into omega Fi minus omega. So it becomes 1 minus e raised to I into omega Fi minus omega into t divided by omega Fi minus omega. Here we have a Vfi prime dagger, and here also we have Vfi prime. So Vfi prime into, here we have Vfi prime, so Vfi prime is put here. Here we have Vfi prime dagger and is put here. Now we have modulus of its modulus square. So modulus of a plus modulus of b square, modulus of a plus b square is modulus of a square plus modulus of b square. So it is modulus of Vfi prime square. First term is modulus of Vfi prime square by h bar square into omega Fi plus omega the whole square, modulus of 1 minus e raised to I into omega Fi plus omega into t modulus square. Next term is plus modulus of Vfi prime dagger square into modulus of 1 minus e raised to I into omega Fi minus omega into t modulus square divided by h bar square into omega Fi plus omega Fi minus omega square. Here it is minus sign. So h bar square into omega Fi minus omega square. Now we are going to determine modulus of 1 minus e raised to I theta square. So that if we determine modulus of 1 minus e raised to I theta square, we can use the expression for this equation. So, modulus of 1 minus e raised to I theta square is, or 1 minus e raised to I theta modulus square is 1 minus e raised to I theta into 1 minus e raised to minus I theta. So, it is on opening 1 and we have minus of e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta plus 1. Okay, so it is 2 minus 1 plus 1, 2 minus e raised to I theta plus e raised to minus I theta is 2 cos theta. So, it is 2 minus 2 cos theta. 2 into 1 minus cos theta. So, 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2. So, we got 4 sin square theta by 2. So, here we have modulus of 1 minus e raised to I into omega fi plus omega into t square, and here we have 1 minus e raised to I into omega fi minus omega t into modulus square. So, on substituting that, we got pi f of t is modulus of v fi prime square by h bar square into omega fi plus omega square, and this relation becomes 4 sin square omega fi plus omega t by 2 plus modulus of v fi prime dagger square by h bar square into omega fi minus omega square into 4 sin square. Here this expression is 4 sin square omega fi minus omega t by 2. So the total transition probability is like this, and we know that this transition probability peaks if omega fi is minus omega or it is plus omega. Transition probability peaks either at omega fi equals omega or at omega fi equals minus omega. If we consider omega fi equals minus omega, we got this term omega fi equal minus omega, we got 0 by 0 term. So, we consider omega fi approximately equal to minus omega, so that this term will be very small. If theta is very small, sin theta can be approximated as theta. So, when omega fi equal minus omega, only this term becomes significant and the second term is not significant. So, it becomes pi f of t is modulus of v fi prime square by h bar square into omega fi plus omega the whole square for this term is, if theta is very small, sin theta approximately equal to theta. So, we got omega fi plus omega t by 2 the whole square. So, it is omega fi plus omega the whole square into t square by 4. So, we got these two terms got cancelled. So, we got modulus of v fi prime square into t square by h bar square. So, if omega fi equals omega, if omega fi equals omega, only this term, only the second term is significant. That is, if omega fi approximately equal to omega, we got pi f of t is modulus of v fi prime dagger square by h bar square into omega fi minus omega the whole square here. Here we have omega fi minus omega the whole square into t square by 4. So, on cancelling we got t square by 4. These are the two resonance conditions, that is the transition probability peaks either at omega Fi equals plus omega or at omega Fi equal minus omega. Now we are going to plot sin square omega Fi plus omega t by 2 by omega Fi plus omega square as a function of frequency. And in the next plot, we have sin square omega Fi minus omega t by 2 by omega Fi minus omega the whole square as a function of frequency. First we plot the first term. So we have, when we plot this, on y axis we have sin square omega Fi plus omega t by 2 by omega Fi plus omega the whole square as a function of frequency. And in the second we can plot sin square omega Fi minus omega t by 2 by omega Fi minus omega the whole square as a function of frequency. Now for notation we use omega here as a function of frequency. So if we are going to the first plot, we have omega Fi plus omega Fi plus omega t by 2 equals pi. When this term equals pi, we have 0. This term equals pi. So we got omega Fi equals 2 pi by t minus omega. So if omega Fi approximately equal to minus omega, we got omega Fi plus omega the whole square t square by 4 by omega Fi plus omega the whole square. On cancelling we got the peak term as t square by 4. And next I put here it is omega 2 prime. Omega 2 prime means this is omega 2 prime. That is, this peak coincides with the x axis when omega 2 prime equals 2 pi by t minus omega. Then after a 2 pi we got omega 4 pi. Again it coincides with the x axis, that is omega 4 prime is 4 pi by t minus omega. Next we have omega 6 prime. Omega 6 prime is 6 pi by t minus omega. That is when omega t at omega 2 prime, at omega 4 prime, omega 6 prime etc. This curve will comes to the x axis or meets the x axis. That is the amplitude value becomes 0 at omega 2 prime. Next it is omega 4 prime. So at omega 4 prime it will come to 0. But what will be the amplitude? Since omega 2, omega Fi plus omega t, omega Fi plus omega the whole square appears on denominator. When we move along the x axis to the right of the x axis, this denominator term goes on increasing. So the amplitude value goes on decreasing. So it will be like this. Next is omega 6 prime. We have a curve like this. On moving to the left hand side, suppose I mark it as omega 2. What will be the value of omega 2? On moving to the left hand side, omega 2 will be minus 2 pi by t minus omega. Omega 4 will be minus 4 pi by t minus omega and so on. So the curve will be like this. And similarly, if we plot sin square omega Fi minus omega t by 2 by omega Fi minus omega the whole square as a function of frequency, we have this is the peak values. Here also an omega Fi approximately equal to omega, we have the peak value as t square by 4. Suppose I marked it as omega 2 prime, next it is omega 4 prime, then omega 6 prime and so on. Here it is omega 2, omega 4, omega 6 and so on. That is the transition probability peaks either at omega Fi equal plus omega or at here it is omega Fi equal plus omega, or at omega Fi equals minus omega, and the transition probability goes on decreasing as omega moves away from omega Fi. These are the conditions of resonance. Now we have to deduce the equation for transition probability if we are waiting for a long enough time, that is if t tending to infinity. Limit t tending to infinity sin square yt by pi y square t is delta of y. So here if we consider limit t tending to infinity, we got sin limit t tending to infinity sin square omega Fi plus omega t by 2 by omega Fi plus omega the whole square. So if we take y as omega Fi, y as omega Fi plus omega by 2, this equation becomes limit t tending to infinity sin square omega Fi plus omega t by 2 divided by, here we have only omega Fi plus omega. So the y term is omega Fi plus omega by 2. So omega Fi plus omega by 2 the whole square. So I put a 4 here. Next we need pi. So I put pi here and we have a pi. Now we need a t. So I put t here and we have a t here. So it becomes limit t tending to infinity, limit t tending to infinity pi and divided by, here it is 4 and from here we have 2. Other terms are sin square omega Fi plus omega t by 2 divided by pi omega Fi plus omega by 2 the whole square t, and this is, its value is pi t by 4 into delta of omega Fi plus omega by 2. That is, we have limit t tending to infinity sin square omega Fi plus omega t by 2 divided by omega Fi plus omega the whole square as pi t by 4 into delta of omega Fi plus omega by 2. So it is 2 times delta of omega Fi plus omega. So it becomes, and here we have to convert this frequency term into the energy term. So I put, so h bar omega Fi plus h bar omega. So pi t h bar by 2 delta of h bar omega Fi plus h bar omega. Since delta of kf, where f is a function and k is a constant, can be 1 by modulus of k delta of f. This relation is used here. So the equation becomes, similarly limit t tending to infinity sin square omega Fi minus omega t by 2 by omega Fi minus omega the whole square can be written as pi t h bar by 2 delta of h bar omega Fi minus h bar omega. So on substituting this into the transition probability equation, we got pi f of t as modulus of v Fi prime square by h bar square into 4 times this value of this term, that is pi t h bar by 2 delta of h bar omega Fi plus h bar omega plus modulus of v Fi prime dagger square by h bar square into 4 pi t h bar by 2 delta of h bar omega Fi minus h bar omega. So on simplifying, we got Pi f of t as 2 and 2 got cancelled, 4 and 2 got cancelled, we have 2 pi t, h bar and h bar square on cancelling, we got a h bar in the denominator. So it is 2 pi t by h bar modulus of v Fi prime square, delta of h bar omega Fi is Ef minus Ei. So Ef minus Ei plus h bar omega, and the second term is plus 2 pi t by h bar modulus of v Fi prime dagger square, delta of Ef minus Ei minus h bar omega. That is, this term exists only when either of the following conditions now we are going to mention are satisfied. One of the condition is, if we are looking into the first term, if Ef minus Ei plus h bar omega is 0 or Ef minus Ei equals minus h bar omega, only the first term exists, the second term vanishes. And if Ef minus Ei equals h bar omega, the second term exists and the first term vanishes. So the transition probability has a non-zero value only when one condition is Ef minus Ei equal minus h bar omega. When Ef minus Ei equal minus h bar omega, the transition probability is non-zero, but only the first term exists, the second term vanishes. And if Ef minus Ei equals h bar omega, only the second term exists and the first term vanishes. That is, these two conditions cannot be satisfied simultaneously, either the first condition or the second condition. That is, the transition probability due to the harmonic perturbation has a non-zero value only when either of the following conditions are satisfied, and these two conditions does not occur simultaneously. If we consider the first condition, we have Ef equals Ei minus h bar omega. That is, the system is in an initial state with energy Ei and the final state is lowered by an energy of h bar omega. That is, the system is already in an excited state. This is the initial state and the system gives out an energy of h bar omega, or system gives out a photon of energy h bar omega and reaches its final state. That is, this corresponds to stimulated emission. This stimulated emission occurs due to the perturbing field. Now, if we consider the second condition is Ef equals Ei plus h bar omega. That is, the system is an initial state with energy Ei. The final state is greater by an energy of amount h bar omega. So, this is Ef. The system excites the final state by absorbing an amount of energy h bar omega. That is, we have stimulated emission and stimulated absorption. So, if we consider the transition to a continuum of final states, rho of Ef is the density of final states. If rho absorption of Ef is the density of final states in the case of absorption, and rho emission of Ef is denoted as the density of final states in the case of emission, then the transition rate can be written as RIF absorption equals, this is the transition rate, that is the transition probability per unit time, 2 pi by h bar modulus of v Fi prime square, delta of absorption is modulus of v Fi prime dagger square, delta of Ef minus Ei minus h bar omega, rho absorption of Ef, and RIF emission is 2 pi by h bar modulus of v Fi prime square, delta of Ef minus Ei plus h bar omega, rho emission of EF. So, since the perturbing field Vfi prime is Hermitian, Vfi prime equals Vfi prime dagger. So, RIF emission by RIF absorption can be written as delta of EF minus EI plus H bar omega, density of final state corresponding to emission, by delta of EF minus EI minus H bar omega, density of final state corresponding to absorption. This condition is known as the condition of detailed balancing. Detailed balancing. So, in the case of constant perturbation, we know that the system, the perturbing field, due to the perturbing field, the energy is neither removed from the system nor it is transferred to the system. But here in the case of harmonic perturbation, a photon, the system absorbs a photon of energy h bar omega due to the perturbing field, or it emits a photon of energy h bar omega due to this perturbing field. This is the case of harmonic perturbation. And this harmonic perturbation is encountered in the cases when atom or electron interacts with an electromagnetic field, and such systems absorbs photon and get excited to higher energy level. When already in the excited levels, it gives up a photon, and get de-excited to lower energy levels. Thank you.